Hello everyone! Ano ang 6 na maling ginagawa ng mga diabetics? 6 worst things na ginagawa ng mga diabetics kung bakit nagkakaroon sila ng complication and worse, they succumb to early demise. So those are the things that we will discuss tonight and I hope kung meron kayong kilalang diabetic or kung kayo mismo ay nagsasuffer from diabetes or high blood sugar, you will also not do any of these things. So ano yung top 6, yung pang-anim is, of course, limiting white rice, pero nag-a-unli ng brown and black rice. So this is not just related to white rice lang, pati sa white bread. With the advent of social media, marami na ring diabetics na nakakaalam na yung white rice nga at saka yung mga white bread ay hindi talaga maganda sa kalusugan. They easily become glucose sa ating bloodstream. So they are easily converted into glucose. That's why nakakapagpataas siya ng blood sugar. And they already know that. However, yung hindi nila alam, yung alternative nito na brown rice, black rice, or kung sa bread naman, yung mga whole grain na bread, whole wheat bread, are actually still mataas pa rin sa carbohydrate. Mas mataas lang yung kanilang content sa fiber, but eventually, yung kanilang content sa carbohydrates, especially starch na nako-convert into glucose ay mataas pa din. And the worst thing that they do, thinking just because hindi ito white rice, hindi ito white bread, ito ay whole grain, high in fiber, mas marami yung kanilang nako-consume. Maybe kapag nag-white rice sila, 1 cup lang yung kanilang nakakain. Pero kapag nagba-brown rice or nagba-black rice sila, ay nakaka 2 cups or more pa. Just like when they eat regular bread na white bread. Kung white bread lang, baka isang slice lang, dalawang slice lang. But thinking na it's already whole wheat bread, high fiber bread, baka nakakalimang whole wheat pandesal yung kanila nauubos. So kung isa lang sana yung kinain nila, say for example, isang regular bread lang, nasa 20 to 25 gram net carbs yan. But thinking it's whole wheat, baka nakakadalawa, nakakatatlo sila. So overall, mas marami pa rin yung nako-consume nilang glucose na galing sa starch, galing sa carbohydrates, galing sa grain. So, limiting white rice, that's already good, but it is also wrong na nag-aanli kayo sa other forms of grains. Hindi lang rice, but also wheat and wheat products. So, ano ang wheat products? Hindi tayo nag-grow ng wheat sa Pilipinas, but we consume a lot of wheat products. Lahat ng tinapay, lahat na merong flour, harina, those are all byproduct of wheat. So, dapat kung ayaw nyong mag-lead into complications in yung diabetes, hindi lang basta white rice yung inyong i-eliminate or i-cut down, but also other forms of rice. Maliit lang yung difference nila when it comes to total carbohydrate content. So ano yung pang top 5? Top 5 would be too much fruits. Marami sa mga diabetics nagche-check na ng kanilang blood glucose before they eat something. And what's wrong with eating too much fruits? Kasi yung fruits, hindi lang glucose yung kanyang sugar dito. Yung mataas na sugar sa fruits would be fructose. And hindi siya nare-reflect sa ating blood sugar kasi nga fructose siya. But in the long run, ito ay nagko-contribute pa rin sa insulin resistance because ang fructose po ay isang uri din ng sugar na yun yung hindi basta-basta ma-metabolize but exact from our liver. Kapag too much na yung fructose sa katawan, the liver converts fructose into anong tinatawag natin yon, yung mga cholesterol or nagiging taba ito. So it can be converted into triglycerides and it can lead into fatty liver. Another bad effect ng too much fructose, it can also increase your uric acid production sa inyong katawan. So hindi lang po ang iniisip natin just the certain beans, certain proteins na nakakapagpataas ng uric acid. If you know diabetics na nag-a-avoid na ng karne, nag-a-avoid na ng mga beans and proteins, but tumataas pa rin yung kanilang uric acid, try to look at their fructose or fruit consumption. So between fruits and mga artificial fructose na na sources, of course, worse yung mga fructose na syrup. Yun yung mga high fructose corn syrup, and yun yung mga ginagawang sweetener sa mga kape, sa mga fraps, sa mga baked goodies. Usually, it's coming from fructose. So those are the worst kind of fructose. And usually, majority of diabetics already avoid yung mga sweets na yan. Sometimes, marami sa mga restaurants na sinasabi na wala silang nilalagay na sugar, pero meron silang nilalagay na fructose syrup, which is actually either either same lang ng sama sa katawan, or it could even be worse. Kasi nga, hindi na mako-convert yung fructose into something else, but it should be used up as energy. But bago siya ma-use up, you have to use up also your other energy sa katawan, including glucose. So kung umaapaw na yung glucose mo sa katawan, you cannot really expect na yung fructose na nakokonsumo ay magagamit din. Most likely, it will be converted into fats from your liver, leading into non-alcoholic fatty liver. Kaya no wonder marami sa mga diabetics ang actually meron ding concomitant na liver disease, liver problem. Okay? So that is related to too much glucose, too much fructose na hindi na magamit into energy, and they get stuck into our system, making them fats, nagiging taba sila na eventually inflammatory. Okay? So ano yung top 4 na maling ginagawa ng mga diabetics would be, nag-a-avoid sila. Yung iba, marunong na mag-avoid ng sweets, marunong na mag-avoid ng carbs, marunong na mag-avoid ng rice, pero sobra-sobra yung kinakain nilang root crops like kamote at saging na saba. Why special ang saging na saba? Because ito ay fruit pa din, but I think marami ang hindi nakaka-realize na kahit pa matabang siya na saging, yung saba na sinasaing, it is still fruit. And kahit hindi siya matamis, it is still made of starch. So, it's still a complex carbohydrates na nagiging glucose pa din. Kamote is, yes, better than rice. Pero kung ang dami-dami namang kamote yung pinagkakain mo sa isang araw, baka nakakaubos ka ng 1 kilong kamote, then that would still be too much na carbohydrate in your system. Hindi lang kamote, pwede ring, ano pa bang ibang root crops? Patatas. So, those are the two most common ata na kinokonsume. Patatas in the form of whole potato, French fries, mashed potato, ano pa ba? Hash browns, at kung ano-ano pang luto ng patatas. Those are still root crops na ang equivalent nun ay mataas pa rin sa carbohydrate na total carbohydrate na tinatawag nating net carbs. So yung net carbs po is the amount of carbohydrates na pwedeng ma-convert into energy sa katawan. So usually, ang amount of total carbohydrates, kung merong fiber, we deduct it, minus fiber, and then what you will get is the total amount of net carbohydrates. Sa mga nutrition facts, nakikita nyo yan. Total carbohydrates, and then merong dietary fiber. Sometimes, tinitingnan natin yung sugar lang. But what we don't see is actually the other forms of carbohydrates embedded there. Say for example, ang isang pagkain merong 25 total carbohydrates. Meron siyang fiber na 5 at meron siyang sugar na 5. Akala mo 5 lang yung sugar nun. But actually, you just deduct, ima-minus nyo lang yung fiber sa total na 25. So, ang makukuha mo is 20. Actually, 20 yung net carbohydrates. Yan, yung total carbohydrates na papasok sa inyong katawan na magiging energy that can possibly induce insulin resistance na makakapag-either pagpataas ng inyong blood sugar or makakapag-worsen ng ongoing insulin resistance na sa katawan. So yung 20 na net carbohydrates na yon, 5 of that would be sugar and 15 of that could be something else. Pwede siyang hindi lang simple sugar, pwede siyang starch, pwede din siyang complete combination ng hindi lang glucose, but pwede ring lactose, pwedeng galactose, pwedeng fructose. So, pwede siyang other forms of carbohydrates na dapat alam pa rin natin if we don't want to make our body worsen when it comes to sugar load. So yon, that's our top 4 na ginagawang mali and the worst things diabetics do. Number 3 is more on habits and what they do. Hindi lang basta pagkain. Number 3 would be nagsobrang tiwala sa mga supplements at mga alternative medicine at kung ano-ano mga herbal medicine, while at the same time kumakain pa rin ng lahat ng matatamis and carbs. Because maraming iba na ayaw talaga i-give up kung ano yung nagpapasakit sa kanila. Before you treat someone daw, dapat tanungin muna if they're willing to give up kung ano yung mga bagay na nagdulot ng kanilang sakit in the first place. If ever they don't want to give that up, so kawawa, nakakalungkot. But that is where medicine come in. Pero hopefully, we are in this platform, we are more knowledgeable, we are more aware na kung gusto natin gumaling ay hindi lang basta magtiwala lang sa kung ano lang yung gamot, but we should really go into root cause, kung ano talaga yung punot dulo kung bakit nagkakasakit. So trusting supplements, especially yung mga supplements na no approved therapeutic claims, mga alternative herbal medicines, mga dahon-dahon, I have nothing against those, pero kung lahat ng tiwala ninyo ay nasa alternative medicine and mga supplements lang pero wala pa rin kayong ginagawa sa inyong pagkain, sa pang-araw-araw nyong ginagawa, sa pang-araw-araw nyong sinusubo, then it's also gonna get worse. I have heard a lot of stories even sa radio stations. I think radio stations, very prominent yan sa pagpo-promote ng mga supplements and alternative medicine. And the anchor, yung mga news anchor mismo, they are also taking these supplements because they are trusting in these supplements na ini-endorse nila, only to end up having the same conditions as diabetes, complications of diabetes, dying of CKD, dying of problems with liver, dying of heart attack and stroke. So that's why wag basta-basta lang magtiwala sa supplements and alternative medicine. Try to make sure first na bago kayo mag-take nito, you have to do it with the right diet. And for diabetics, it's usually cutting down. Hindi lang basta mga tatamis, but also the other form of carbs na nakakapagpataas ng ating blood glucose or nakakaworsen ng insulin resistance. So I'm making emphasis na hindi lang basta pagkaing nakakapagpataas diretsa ng glucose, but also foods that increase insulin resistance. So carbs, other carbs, mga starches, and also even certain fats. So, yung mga inflammatory fats, usually mga vegetable oil, seed oils, canola oil, those oils are actually going to be involving or increasing your insulin resistance in your body. Try to use the healthier oils. So, coconut oil, hindi hydrogenated coconut oil, yung pure coconut oil talaga. We are very lucky here in the Philippines na maraming brands na pure coconut oil na pwede natin gawin sa ating pangluto. Kaya sa mga mahihilig mag-prito dyan, you're in good luck because pwede naman kumain ng prito basta't ito ay healthier oil na gamit. Coconut oil, and then other forms of healthier oil would be extra virgin olive oil, and then the other natural oils would be butter, taba ng baboy, taba ng baka, all of those are natural oils. So, okay lang yun. Pero yung mga inflammatory oils, yung tawag natin ginawa sa factory, corn oil, rapeseed oil, grapeseed oil, rice bran oil. So, those are all factory-made oils na na-extract after processing, chemical, and heat processing that they already are inflammatory sa ating katawan na nakakaworsen ng insulin resistance, and they go hand in hand. Merong insulin resistance, mataas na blood sugar, mataas na inflammation sa katawan. And yun na yung pathway na nagkakaroon ng stroke, nagkakaroon ng diabetes, nagkaroon ng matataas na bad fats sa katawan tulad ng triglycerides, very low density lipoprotein, DLDL. Okay? And also, the most important part ay dapat ito ang inyong pangangatawan, you can also be mindful na yung tiyan ay maliit because increased in visceral fat, yung taba na nagko-cover sa ating internal organs should be low. it is correlated directly with insulin resistance. The higher the insulin resistance, the higher also is your visceral fats, and the higher is the risk of cardiovascular events. So, yun. So that's why alam nyo dapat kung ano yung inyong i-avoid. Okay, number 2, worst things na diabetics do would be not exercising, not cutting down carbs, thinking na ang pagpapataas ng kanilang dosage sa kanilang gamot at pagpapataas ng kanilang insulin injection ay enough na. Ito ba ay sapat na para ma-avoid natin yung complications of diabetes? I came from a family with long history of diabetes. My uncles, my lolo, my own dad, na very religious sa inom ng kanilang gamot, very religious sa pag-follow up sa kanilang mga doctors, and they've been very religious sa pagsunod sa kung ano yung gamot na iinumin, gaano karaming insulin yung ituturok. Eventually they became insulin dependent from being non-insulin dependent sana, but they didn't actually cut down the carbs the right way. Yung iba nag-exercise, even my uncle who also had diabetes, he passed away ng cardiac arrest right after exercising. So, hindi nga siya nag-say no sa exercise, no? Nag-exercise siya. And then, he also followed all the medicine, pero hindi siya nag-cut down ng carbs. Other uncle, hindi nag-exercise at hindi rin nag-cut down ng carbs, and hindi rin nag-cut down ng bad fats sa kaniyang pagkain at pinagsasabay ang high carb at high fat diet. So eventually also succumb to death. And the same way, yung sa papa ko naman, he is exercising but not cutting down carbs the right way. Sumobra yung kanyang intake ng prutas. Halos is kada araw, isa or tatlong ano yun? Babana. Ano yung babana? Ano nga yun? Soursop. Yun yung English niya. So, iyon yung kanyang pinagkakain araw-ayaw. Guyabano. Guyabano pala yun. Yung babana in Ilonggo, it's guyabano in Tagalog. So, he's been eating that thinking it is healthy. Tapos, meron ding panahon na puro mangustin. Ilang kilong mangustin yung nauubos in a day. Meron ding time na puro saging lang. Ilang packs ng saging yung kanyang nauubos. So, that's too much fruits. And just thinking na kapag kumakain siya ng marami, dadagdagan lang niya yung kanyang iti-take na medicine or tataasan lang niya yung kanyang insulin dose kasi tinuturo din yon ng kanyang doktor. But eventually, he succumbed to death at the early age of 56 years old. So very, very young pa. And that's one of the top 2 things na maling-maling ginagawa ng diabetics, yung basta ilagay na lang yung lahat ng tiwala sa gamot without doing anything else. Okay? And ano yung worst things the diabetics do actually is losing hope and pagtanggap na lang na yung diabetes ay lifetime sentence na. Yung tinatanggap nila kasi eto sa family namin na it's genetic, it's familial, wala na akong magagawa, eto na talaga yung aking kapalaran. Losing hope and accepting na wala ka nang magagawa is actually the worst thing that you can do because you can do something about it. If you are one of the current live viewers natin, hello to 2,700 live viewers natin ngayon. Hello po sa lahat. I've missed you all and I hope if you are one of those na merong testimonials na low carb nutrition and intermittent fasting can actually help reverse diabetes if kayo ay on remission na, meaning for at least 1 year, normal yung blood sugar, normal ang HbA1c nang wala nang iniinom na gamot, just lifestyle change, monitoring your blood glucose regularly. Also, meron ding proper monitoring ng HbA1c na wala ng gamot na iniinom, then you are already considered as diabetes on remission. So, it's two-way. It's reversible. Pwedeng ma-reverse yung diabetes, but it doesn't mean na hindi ka na magkaka-diabetes ulit. If you will go back to your old habits, pwede kang magkaroon ng diabetes ulit. But if you will retain your proper lifestyle and of course, the advices that we have on decreasing carbohydrates and decreasing inflammatory food intake na nakakapag-worsen ng insulin resistance, then you can actually reverse your diabetes and it's no longer a life sentence. So, hindi lang puro worst things na ginagawa ng diabetes yung i-discuss natin. Of course, we'll also discuss a little on what you can do instead. If yun, isa dito ay ginagawa ninyo at alam nyo nang hindi yan tama. So now we will discuss a little on what you can do instead and it's just actually so simple. Stick to the safe list lang ng ating food list. If you don't know what that is, you can check that in our website at jgrtanmd.com. Generally speaking, it's just whole foods. It's just real food. So, real food would be ulam. So, lahat ng ulam. Anong mga ulam? Itlog, manok, baboy, karne, isda, seafoods, ano pa ba? Baka, kalabaw, any meat actually is real food. Ulam, yung pinaka-basic na sinasabi natin, ulam and gulay. Ulam at gulay lamang. And emphasis on ulam, and the more basic you cook it, the better it is. The basic meaning, if you can eat it raw, like sashimi, much better. If hindi naman, kailangang lutuin. So, pakuluan lang. Just boil it in simple salt and pepper or kahit asin na nga lang, that's already good. And then, if you will cook it more special, pwedeng lagyan ng sahog, but mostly, you can just put any vegetables kung nauumay na sa gulay, sa ulam, sa karne. So, you can add vegetables kapag nauumay na sa ulam. So, aside from boiling, pwede ring grill, so pwedeng inihaw, pwedeng i-barbecue nang walang masyadong mga kung ano-ano mga condiments, plain salt and pepper is already okay. Pwedeng prituhin sa coconut oil or lard or taba ng baboy or taba ng baka. Those are the options that you can have. So, eat real food. So, anything na nakapakete, most likely it's already processed. Okay? So, hopefully you avoid that or you limit that. Especially kung hindi pa kayo totally healed or nagsisimula pa lang kayo sa low-carb lifestyle. So, what else can you do? You can monitor your blood sugar regularly and then sa laboratories naman, check your kidney function, your creatinine, check also your liver function, SGPT, SGOT, because sometimes nandun yung effect, hindi lang nakikita sa blood sugar. Especially na yung parating kinukuha na monitoring for blood sugar is just FBS, so fasting blood sugar lang. And it's not enough. Madali kasing madaya yung fasting blood sugar. Mag-fast ka lang at magpakabait ka lang today, tomorrow mababa na yung blood sugar mo. But if you take HbA1c or if in other countries meron kayong insulin test, insulin level test, those are actually better gauge kung gaano kaganda yung inyong blood sugar control. HbA1c will give you kung ano yung average na blood sugar mo for the last 3 months. Yon, hindi yon madaling dayain. So, hopefully, you will get a score of 5.7 or lower. Below 5.7 is ideal. Imagine for diabetics, ang goal lang would be 6.5 and below. So, but that level is already correlated sa maraming komplikasyon mismo ng diabetes. So, I don't think it's good na gagawin mong target ang level na alam mong magkakaroon pa rin ng komplikasyon. Correlated pa rin with a lot of complications when you can actually target a real normal blood glucose of less than 5.7 yung average or yung HbA1c, less than 5.7%. Okay? So, hindi lang yan. Marami ring other ways and means. So, daily sun exposure, exercise, of course, as what we mentioned a while ago. Daily sun exposure, 15 to 30 minutes in a day lang. And sleep of 7 to 9 hours. And, of course, staying positive. So, it's nice if you are part of our community. Mas magkakaroon kayo ng inspiration and motivation to do better. So, after our live video, ngayon siguro hindi pa kayo makakapag-comment with photos, but after our live video, you can post your photos, transformation, your own testimonial. Sobrang dami na po na-reverse yung kanilang diabetes just by doing the proper way of low carb nutrition. If ever you want to learn more, saan tayo pwedeng matuto? So, we have books available. We have books available in Amazon that you can purchase or online if gusto nyong soft copy lang, it's available in jgrtanmd.com. If ever gusto niyo namang matuto, like parang nag-aaral kayo, online course, so we have LCF Masterclass, Diabetes LCF Masterclass by yours truly. It's available both in Facebook or in our website. In Facebook, you can just send a message sa mga pages na kung saan nyo nakikita yung live episode na to ngayon, or you can just log in on your own at lcfmasterclass.org. If ever you want to learn more and be inspired more, and if ever kayo ay merong mga tanong na hindi masagot-sagot ng mga videos natin at kung ano-ano pa, I hope we can see you in our book signing and meet and greet event this coming March 16, 2024, 1 to 3 p.m., Uptown area, BGC. Pwede lang kayong mag-park sa Uptown Mall and we are just going to be walking distance from Uptown Mall. Final natin na venue will be revealed will be disclosed sa ating mga participants. So, it's going to be on March 16. It's a Saturday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. yan. So, if you have books, it's going to be free. Free lang po yan if you have any two of these books. And then pwede tayong mag-meet and greet and book signing and also Q&A, especially sa merong mga gustong-gustong magtanong. So this is brought to you by our partners, Perfect Match, Low Carb Selections, Shapes Keto Cakes, Gavries, Keto Mojo, Cucina ni Gracia, Theo Broma, Lorene, Goodness from Coconut Oil, and Cafe Viva Low Carb Herbal Coffee na kung saan kayo makakakuha ng free low carb goodies and giveaways from them. So, those are the things that we can look forward this coming March and I hope to see you there. Sa merong mga tanong, sasagutin natin yan. And of course, I hope you are all going to be very happy na tayo ay magkikita-kita na naman. So, 1.3 kaya, Doc, pwede pa kaya bumaba? So, yes, marami nang bumaba sa ating Got Your Book Already, Doc. 3 years ago, I think. Uy, but meron na tayong second edition because we have some improvements. Merong mga significant improvements from our books in first edition na improve natin in second edition. So, 1.3 kaya pwedeng bumaba yan. Marami nang merong mga CKD3, CKD2 na naging CKD1 ulit. So, those should be done the proper way because kung meron ng problem with kidney function, baka kailangan i-monitor yung protein intake. Hindi na as only as we want. Okay? So, these things you can all learn from our books and also from our website. I hope we can see you there. So, yun lamang po. I hope you learned something today. So, we will recap the 6 worst things diabetics do would be limiting white rice and white bread and other white grains, pero nag-only sa other forms of grains. Too much fruits or too much fructose, it's also not good. Too much root crops, kamote at saging na saba, nakakapagpataas pa rin yan ng blood glucose. If hindi kayo naniniwala sa akin, try to get a CGM or continuous glucose monitoring. Isa yung patch na nilalagay na dinidikit sa balat and then you can see the first, I think, 24 hours to 3 days yan na monitor ng blood sugar. So, malalaman mo kung kailan umakyat yung blood sugar mo at kailan ito stable, kailan bumaba at malalaman mo kung ano yung kinain mo yung mga panahon na yon. And I tell you, these things can really elevate your blood sugar. And of course, trusting supplements and alternative medicines too much while sobra-sobra pa rin yung pagkain ng sweets and carbs. So, hindi pwedeng ibigay ang lahat ng tiwala sa supplements and herbal medicines nang walang kaakibat na pag-cut down ng mga pagkaing nagdulot ng diabetes in the first place. Number two, not exercising and not cutting down carbs, not cutting down junk foods, not cutting down all those inflammatory processed foods, especially ultra-processed foods, thinking na okay lang, kumain ako ng kumain ng ice cream, ng cake, ng donut, as long as meron akong pambili ng gamot, as long as meron akong insurance na bibili ng aking gamot na wala akong gastos, those things are going to make your condition worse. Medicine should be there to help you, hindi basta-basta na yun lang yung pagtitiwalaan natin because eventually it will have side effects at meron lang limit ang magagawa ng gamot. Kailangan nyo itong tulungan. And that is by true healing, by cutting down the things o mga pagkain na nagdulot ng sakit ninyo in the first place. And lastly, of course, marami ang nawawala na ng pag-asa at tinatanggap na lang yung kanilang kondisyon na yun na. Kasi yung daddy ko namatay ng diabetes, ako ay mamamatay din sa diabetes. So that is losing hope and accepting diabetes as a lifestyle sentence na when in fact, alam natin, marami tayong pwedeng gawin. So we've discussed that already and we hope to see you and learn more together with our community in low carb nutrition and fasting lifestyle. You can follow more on my Facebook page, YouTube channel, meron din sa TikTok, IG. And of course, if you wanna learn on your own, there's a masterclass by yours truly and also books available. So yon, and JGR Tan food list available in printable food list sa ating jgrtanmd.com. If you want to see that one para alam niyo kung ano yung mga pagkain pwede natin kainin safely at kung ano yung mga pagkain kailangan natin i-avoid. For book signing and meet and greet na inquiries, faster transaction can be made through Viber and WhatsApp. Just message Charisse at 0917-993-1239. So that's just it for tonight. This is your Diet Doctora. I'm a surgeon, but also a low-carb practitioner and a root cause medicine practitioner. Always remember to stay low-carb so that we all stay safe. Maraming salamat, everyone. I'll see you again in our next video. Bye-bye. Thank